you are an energy healer, practitioner, spiritual coach, work in the metaphysics, and you have been feeling burnt out and kind of just stuck and stagnant in your abilities and what you're able to do, or you've just been feeling kind of crunchy, if you know what that feeling is, of this energy that's not moving in our body, I'm going to tell you about a session that I was blessed to have with my friend Kimberly that really helped me in those areas. I actually had 2 sessions for 2 completely different things, and so I want to share how amazing she is and how she can help you with this. I do Akasha work with my clients, and I just felt like I hit this plateau, and I was also not really having a lot of new ideas coming in as far as like content or for my mentorship programs, like masterclasses, lives, all the different things. And it was just getting very frustrating. And so I told Kimberly about it, and she's like, oh, well, let's have a session. And she helps people remember their magic and their spiritual gifts, and she's an activator. Okay, for things that, when we're in our own situations, we can't see, and sometimes we need somebody that's holding the keys to unlock that for us. And so I did the session with her, and I found these facets of myself that I had forgotten. And I also realized that I was not showing people what I was able to actually do. For example, I have a portfolio, if you will, of all of the tools and abilities that I have picked up from all of these different incarnations. And I was only showing people's higher selves that I'm contracting to work with in this incarnation a couple of the pages of my portfolio and not showing them the vastness of it. And I had some very deep-rooted fears: witch wounds, persecution, fear of success, fear of failure, all of those different things. And in working with Kimberly, I was able to open up and expand that portfolio. And tangibly, how I integrated this is after that session, I started giving sessions to my clients, and I was able to perceive so much more in their Akasha fields and in their energy fields, because I gave myself permission to do the things that I am actually able to do. Because a lot of energy healers, we have been treated a certain type of way, so we never want to come across as not necessarily like authority, but better than. And so sometimes we're not really expressing our gifts in their greatest capacities, which is one of the things that I had running. And when she helped me clear that, it was like, oh snap, like this is what I've been looking for within me. I was plateauing myself, but not because necessarily my own doing, but trauma and all these other things, and not just from this incarnation, but other ones as well. So that was really beneficial. Then we went to have a session yesterday with also another energy healer involved. And Kimberly was leading us through this meditation, and it was very visual. Halfway through, my higher self was like, hey, we need to go through an energy detox. And I was like, okay. And she was saying that I had karmic wounds and trauma from different incarnations, that if I were to help them heal and transmute and alchemize that, I would be able to perceive even more within myself and then clients in my business, and just help me in a vast amount of ways. And I was like, okay. And she was like, it's going to be really intense. And I said, all right, I'm ready. And without actually like conceptualizing what it was going to be. And what I can equate it to is birth pains. That's what it felt like over my whole entire body. And I typically talk a lot while Kimberly and I are doing sessions with one another, but I was completely silent the whole entire time because I was having to like grit down and kind of bear through it. And during the process, my inner children came up, and my current version and my central nervous system were screaming at me, we need to stop. This is too intense. And I was explaining to them that we were safe. They didn't feel safe. And I said, hey, trust me, I'm the higher self. we are going to feel like a whole new person on the other side of this. Our central nervous system is getting really activated right now, but we're not actually in physical danger. We're not actually in physical pain. This is energetic stuff that is coming up, and I'm not going to force you to do this, but I do want to say that it would be really beneficial for us, not only in this existence but other existences. And I kept reiterating to them, like, hey, we're safe, it's okay, and I love you. And once I unplugged from that experience, when I got done detoxing, my whole entire body relaxed, and I felt like my joyful, youthful, vibrant, colorful self again. I was like, oh my God, that was so intense. And the lesson that I took away from that is, a lot of times we are letting our central nervous system lead our life, and we are succumbing to fears and anxieties because it's a safety mechanism that's built into our physiology. But it also oftentimes keeps us from these really beautiful experiences in life. The lesson that I gleaned from this was my inner children trusting me to lead them through this process, and not allowing my central nervous system to overtake me, because that has happened for the majority of my life, where I kind of shrink into self, or, you know, for the example of the other session I did of not showing people what I can actually do with my spiritual gifts in its totality. And so this was a really fundamental lesson of me as the higher self in the multidimensional version taking care of all of us and leading us to this better place, and that we don't always have to listen and follow our central nervous system in this safety mechanism that we have. And that it is going to lead us to these better places. And I say that because as soon as I got off of the session with Kimberly and this other healer, I had 3 people book sessions immediately afterwards. And I was like, see, we opened up so much energy in our field. And then today I woke up feeling like a completely new person, so much more energy, so much more clarity and direction. And I knew it was going to serve me on the long term as well. If you are feeling like that you are in this place and space in life of feeling kind of lost and confused or plateaued, or just we have a lot of energy that needs to be moved, I know that experience that I went through sounds really intense, like birth pains all over my body, but I was telling her, because she recorded the session, that I was going to tell everybody this anyway, because sometimes you need that. Like, I signed up for that. I was like, yeah, let's do a detox because I'm ready to push through. I'm ready to get to the new level. Okay? So that's my experience. That is not saying that you will have that experience with Kimberly. She has a lot that are just chill and fun and magical and whimsical and lighthearted. I chose to have that experience facilitated with Kimberly because I feel so safe with her, and my inner children feel safe, that I felt brave enough to go through that experience. So that's not saying you will have that, but if you do want to have that, she can facilitate that for you too. So if you want to connect with her to help you in these different areas, you can go to my profile and click, and there is a direct link to her website, or you can check the comments or the description box below. And then if you have any questions about these sessions and my experience, feel free to put those in the comments too. But she's wonderful. You can find her on all social medias. Queen of Swords for Hire. Highly recommend. I love her so very much, and she's so kind and sweet and so funny. You will absolutely love and adore her, and she will help you at whatever capacity and chapter you're in. And I hope you have a super magical day.